Good after, no, still good morning. About 15 minutes till good left of the morning, and then it's soon good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. This is Q&A Sundays, to where I will answer any and all personal finance questions, and the answer I give you will always be justified with mathematics. Okay, so not justified with feelings, but justified with mathematics. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt. And I'm going to say it a different way. Believes in financing everything under the sun, believes that they cannot buy a car without financing, cannot buy a phone without financing it, cannot buy furniture without financing everything under the sun. And for those of you that are wondering, what can I do for you? What I do is I create the wealth building foundation for you. And what that means is I remove all the cracks in your foundation. So the cracks in your foundation are things that you're financing, and it's interest. Interest causes cracks in your foundation. So anything you're paying that's going out on a monthly or daily basis, those are considered cracks in your foundation, leaks, holes, leaks in your bank account. I seal all those holes up, so make sure your foundation is solid. And in order for you to, let's just say, in order for you to count to 1 million, because math and money are one. So in order for you to count to 1 million, you must start at zero. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 1 million, 100,000, whatever you want to count. You must start at zero. Now, if you add up all your savings and then add up all your debt, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If that's a large negative number, you must get that number from the negative to zero. Then once you get to zero, you can start building wealth. But until you get to zero, you mathematically cannot start building wealth. That's mathematically impossible. Okay, you must start there. Okay, so let me give everybody a few minutes to get in here to ask these questions. Come on in here. Get on in here. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Mike. Welcome. Shucky ducky, that's a clean shave, brother. I sure did. Fresh and clean this morning. Fresh and it feels so good. Oh man. Whew. It just takes a long time because my hair grows so fast, man. Just like that. Like, I'm clean right now. By the end of the day, I probably have a 5 o'clock shadow on my whole face, my head, everything. That's how fast it grows. Get on here and there, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Come on in here. Come on in. Q&A Sundays. Welcome, welcome. Today is the day where you can ask any and all personal finance question. No question is a dumb question, and I promise to have an answer for you, justified with mathematics. I promise. Cosmic Wisdom, good morning from the family farm in North Carolina. Wow, cool. She said the family farm. Welcome. Welcome, Cosmic Wisdom. Welcome. You guys get on in here. Welcome to another edition of That Ain't My Daddy. This has been a wonderful week. Wonderful week for me. I thank you all, to my new clients that just, I know it's Christmas time, so people are recovering from spending all that money during Christmas. And now Christmas is over, I can tell clients are starting to come in. All right, cool. I got some money now. Let me go ahead and hire LJ to help me out with this predicament I'm in, these finances. And the wonderful thing, how I teach and what makes it so wonderful is that I'm just using basic mathematics. That's it. I'm not doing anything complicated. Not telling you to invest in the stock market. You got to know percentage rates and blah, 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 right? It's like when I learned from Dave Ramsey, I knew once I learned, I took from what Dave Ramsey taught me, and then I said I can simplify that even more. So what I've done is broke it all the way down just to basic mathematics. And I figured like this: if a person is in debt and they don't know they're in debt, they're not going to understand how to really understand, like truly understand how the stock market works, what percentages mean, interest rate. They really can't truly understand what that means if their finances are in the negative and they've been in debt all of their lives. They're missing the main point of it all. Math and money are one. If math didn't exist, we couldn't count money. That'd be impossible. We would just grab a whole bunch of money and just look at it and say, okay, there's a 20 on that one. There's a dead president on that one. That's a 5. What does all that mean? Why are these, we would look at numbers. We wouldn't even recognize numbers, let alone call it a 20 or call it a 5, right? But once you accept and realize math and money are one, and it cannot be, the only thing that can separate math from money are feelings. So how a person feels about money. For example, when like people with mortgages, they feel like they're homeowners, but math will clearly show that they're not, right? It just says, hey, you couldn't have bought the house without the bank's help and the bank's money. So the bank said, sure, we'll let you borrow our money, but until you pay all our money back, we're going to hold on to the deed of the house. See what I'm saying? So if a person really looks at that, they will really understand they're not a homeowner, but this is the conditioned way of thinking. Okay. So though they know logically that they're not the homeowner, but yet they go around and telling everybody they're a homeowner. See, it doesn't make any sense, but that's the conditioned mind. That's the conditioned mindset. I don't know how the banks convinced people that it was okay to make payments on a house for 30 years of a person's life. And that's if they never refinance once. So I know several people throughout my lifetime that financed their house several times and not realizing, I don't know if they realize this or not, but they start the 30-year cycle over each time they refinance. It's just the craziest thing. Hello, Hyphy. Welcome. Cleaning and listening. Thank you, Hyphy. I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. Get on in here. I want everybody to ask any questions they want, as many questions as they wish. And I had a question from Quentin. He's not in here yet, but he said this is Quentin's question. I've been wondering if most Americans are in debt and financing cars. How can you purchase cars from them if they're still financing? I stumbled across a website below and was wondering if you believe these are good avenues for car purchases in cash. Okay. Well, what he did was he put a link in below about this place that talks about where to buy repo cars and things of that nature, right? So his question is correct. Now, how do you buy a car with cash from a person who is financing? Okay. So what I mean by buying cars from people in credit trouble. Now, if they're extremely upside down in their car, of course you can't buy it because it won't be worth, because they owe more on the car than what it's worth. I'm saying buy from people that are in credit trouble, that maybe have been making their car payments on time. They're halfway through it or something like that, and some kind of financial disaster happens for them, divorce, job loss, whatever, right? And then you catch that person at that time that they don't really care about making a profit on that car. They just want to get out from under that car because that car payment is killing them. And they don't, trust me, when people are in debt, they make emotional decisions. All right. Their decisions are based on emotion. And this is where you come in as a debt-free person and take that car off of their hands for half the price, because they just don't want a car payment anymore. And they're just happy for that. Cool. You come in, take it off their hands. Cool. I'll give you half price for the car or whatever you have left. And then you just move on. That's what I mean. But if a person is extremely upside down in their car, it's pointless. You can't really buy. They're just in trouble. Right. And the majority of people, not the majority, but I say people in debt, they they bring their cars in, right? And then they roll. I don't even know how this is legal. They'll be upside down in their current car. They'll trade it in for a newer car, and then the dealerships will roll the negative equity. And now, for those of you that, let me make sure I explain this, because I really want to make sure this channel is basic understanding. Okay. Now, if you brought in a car to trade in, say like your car is worth $10,000, but you owe 15. That means you owe $5,000 more than what the car is worth. You say you want to trade it in for another car. So say like the car you want is 30,000, right? And you want to trade in your old car to go towards this car. So what they're going to do is roll the negative equity from this car to this one. So that's going to jump from this car from 30,000 to 35,000. So now you're already upside down in this car without even getting a loan. And that's only if they actually give you 10,000 for the car. So say like your car is worth 10, but they decided they're going to give you 8. So now you're going to roll $7,000 worth of negative equity into the new loan, which bumps that up to $37,000. So you're upside down in this car, but you're spread out maybe 5 years, or no, you spread out even further in your loan. So it makes it look, dang, I'm trying to put this in perspective. The person that doesn't know will believe they got a deal because their payments are lower and they got a newer car because it's spread out further in months. So they really believe they got a deal. It's just the craziest nonsense, but I don't see how that's even legal. I really don't. They be doing people in debt so bad. Again, this is Q&A Sundays. I'm just rambling. You guys can jump in anytime you want. And I will talk about some random things here. I thank you all for my new clients. I thank everyone for the donations. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And the questions and the video suggestions of the videos I should do reviews on. And if you guys have any videos that you know of right now that you would like for me to review, I can do it right now. So let me know. Thank you, Snuggles. Hyphy, appreciate it. Hyphy says they trick you because they make your car payments the same or lower, just spread it across more months. Exactly. But again, Hyphy, it's not a trick. You know, people in debt believe it's a trick, but it's not a trick. It's just mathematics. And the difference between people with money and the people with no money is mathematics. If you want to be rich, if you want to be wealthy, all you have to do is trust mathematics. That's it. Nothing more than that. Trust mathematics and you'll be okay. Okay? I promise you. All right. Any other questions? Any questions at all? Give people a chance to get up in here today. Q&A. Today's Q&A Sunday, where you can ask any and all types of questions that you wish. Anything to do with personal finances. I should have had a couple of videos up here. One second here. Let me do this. Let me locate let me go check something out here. One second. I should have had something prepared. I'm going to go 1 second, you guys. Let me bring up something here. Because I know a couple people sent me some videos, but I think it was more of a, let's see here. Let me try to find something juicy here. Let me throw my banner up there for right now. All right, videos. Checking the comments because best version sends a lot of video suggestions. Faking normal. That's a good one. Let's see what that's about. Okay, so let's do this. Let me break this off. 1 second, you guys. We're gonna watch a video that Best Version Motivation suggested, and we're gonna do this together. Now, I've never watched this video because I want you guys to see how I do this. Okay, how I do it. It doesn't matter. All right, let's do this. Okay, 1 second here. Switch the microphone so it can hear both sides easy. All right. Let me get off this table so it can stop squeaking. Hyphy says, assuming the average car payment is $600 per month, with insurance being let's say $100, how much money would you estimate you've saved by not having a new car and a new car insurance payment? That's easy. Okay, so if it's $600 a month, and I do everything by the year. Okay, so $600 times 12, that's $7,200 a year, plus another $1,200 for let's say 100. So that's $1,200 plus 1,200. That's $8,400 a year in your scenario, Hyphy. Okay, so if you don't have a car payment right now, if the average is made up of millions upon millions of people making the same financial decisions as one, right? So if you don't have a car payment now, you make $7,200 a year more per year than the average. Okay, and then if you add insurance, you're making $8,400 more per year than the average. Now, when you don't have a car payment right off the bat, $7,200, right? And then when you own your own car, you get to dictate your insurance. You don't have to have full coverage insurance. When you finance a car, that means you have to do what the bank says because it's their property. See what I'm saying? So the bank says you have to have full coverage. So you have to have full coverage. When you own your car, you don't have to have full coverage. And never forget this. Never forget the phantom income. When you finance a car, you're financing the taxes too. So when you go finance a car, you see the tax. The first tax is right in your face, the car plus tax, right? But then since you don't have the money for the car in the first place, the very reason why you're financing the car, right? You don't have the money for the taxes too. So you're financing the taxes too. You're getting taxed twice every time you finance a car. But the majority of people in debt cannot see that because they believe they don't have a choice. They believe they have to finance a car, but they don't really realize they're getting taxed twice. And then you add on, they're going by your gross income, which money that you're never going to get. That just buries a person so deep in the hole with a car, they can't even see it. And people in debt believes the car goes down in value as soon as you drive it off the lot. It goes down in value. Well, it goes down in value the minute you walk on the lot and crack your lips to say, I want to finance this car. That's when it goes down in value. Okay. I Aspire says you should check out Mr. Beast's video on the young man who won $1 million, but had to spend it in 24 hours. Huh. Okay. I got to check that out. BK from at Hyphy. BK from the Rockies at Hyphy. Also make sure that you take care of your car. A lot of people screw up by not maintaining their vehicles and end up paying more for being bad with vehicles. That is true. That's very true. So let's do this. Let's do this, you guys. Let's watch this video together. Okay, we're gonna watch this. It's called Faking Normal. Okay, so let me bring this up here. 1 second here. I'm gonna share my screen. Now, I haven't watched this video. This video is from Best Version Motivation. He put the link up here to ask me to check it out. So we're going to do this together. Okay, so let's see what this is about. I've never watched it, so we're going to go through this together.
The aging middle class, financial fragility. It's part of his weekly series, Making Sense, which airs Thursdays on the NewsHour.
Everybody is pretending.
And that's why you call the book Faking Normal.
Right. Because there's a lot of pressure to seem like you are doing well.
Elizabeth White is not doing terribly well. As she painfully chronicles in the book she's just self-published, 55, unemployed, and faking normal. White's been on the edge of the financial cliff for years, even though you'd never know it from how she looks, or the Washington, D.C. townhouse she bought years ago, one she couldn't even dream of renting today.
But you haven't been in a situation where you literally couldn't afford whatever it is, the condo fee or...
Oh, absolutely, I have. I'm right now have to park outside because I'm in arrears on the condo fee.
Oh,
Right now.
And she's refinanced to the hilt, taking in a boarder.
Well, you haven't used food stamps.
But I have. I've had to.
It's been quite a comeuppance for someone with her background.
now check this out. Check this out. This is a person, if you look at her, okay, and this is, and I commend this woman for even doing this. A lot of people won't even do this, and the majority of people are in her same situation, but from the outside, you can't tell. But I'm going to tell you this. Once you're debt free, a person like me, I can see a person that's faking. People like this are only faking other people in the debt matrix. She's in the debt matrix. I commend her. I'm not talking bad about her. She is just bold enough to say it out loud. The majority of people who are in debt that you cannot tell, they won't do anything like this because they don't want to show the world that they're broke, but they really are. But people like me who are financially free can see right through the facade. Okay.
I have a bachelor's from Oberlin. I have a master's in international studies from Johns Hopkins. I have a Harvard MBA. Worked at the World Bank. Came in.
She sounds like she has a lot of student loan debt. Okay, all these now. When people point out these degrees, people really believe those degrees. I'm not saying they don't mean anything, but to me, it sounds like she has a lot of student loan debt. Okay.
Through a program where they recruited 5,000 people. They took 2 Americans out of that 25. I was one of the Americans.
But ultimately, White decided to leave the bank to start her own business.
I had a chain of stores, of decorative home stores.
Wow.
Yes. I sold some of the things you see here, African-inspired products. I realized that there was an African-American market that wanted things in their home that reflected heritage and culture. If you wanted to give your little girl black rag handle, you couldn't easily find it. So I just curated that from all over. So I then bet the ranch that I could get this going. So I took a lot of my, not all of it, but I took a big chunk of my World Bank money to sort of fund this.
Retirement savings.
But it wasn't going, it was doing well, but I couldn't see my vendors of artists and producers were not going to be able to blow this out into a national chain. We're already struggling with volume.
Did you sell your stores?
No, closed it in the end. Just didn't work.
But steady consulting work allowed White to maintain an upper middle class lifestyle for a while until the crash of 08.
Within 6 months, I went from, probably close to $200,000
$1,000 a year.
to zero.
And after that, the jobs of the past were nowhere to be found.
This is to me where the age discrimination piece happened. I find it much harder at this phase of life to get hired than I did earlier.
But you look so young, and I'm not just saying that to, flatter you or something. I mean, you surely can pass now. You're 62 or something. 63, and you could pass for your 50s easily, mid 50s, early 50s, right?
Early 50s is not considered young in the workplace.
No, it's not. As we learned in an interview with economist Teresa Ghilarducci, citing a study by the New York.
Wow, this is good, you guys. This is a really good
From
one.
45 to 55, wages decreased by 9%. From 55 to 65, another 9%. So this age earnings profile where you kind of peak and then it flattens out and falls, that age of peaking is a lot younger than we ever thought.
And that corresponds to age discrimination as measured in economic experiments by the like.
Now, I hope you guys are paying attention to this, right? Not only when you get older, the age discrimination thing, but imagine going into your 50s and your 60s while you're deep in debt. All right. It's not everything, but life is very different. You know, right now, if you're in your 30s and your 20s and you're peaking at your highest salary earning potential and you are deep in debt, remember one day you're going to be 50, you're going to be 55, you're going to be 60. You got to prepare right now. You don't want to be up at that age and still be faking it, because you'll be only fooling yourself.
Likes of Joanna Leahy, who sent fake resumes to employers. The red dots show where on the resumes HR managers looked and for how long.
And when does age discrimination start?
Immediately. It starts at age 35.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty steady process.
And it's women more than men.
It's definitely women more than men.
No wonder career coaches tell you to wipe the dates off your CV. But, says White,
When they then ask you to fill out the application, that's all algorithm driven, you cannot leave off when you graduated from college. And once you put that date in there,
Then it's
wow.
Now, as you get older, your network also is not.
So that college degree that you got, that everybody think is so important, can be a detriment to you by the date you graduated. Now, can you imagine you graduated years ago, not only your age, but you're still actually paying on your student loan debt? Can you imagine that? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh,
What it used to be.
because they're losing their jobs.
They're losing their jobs. They're retiring. They're not hearing about things. They're winding down. People have died.
so White has been scraping by with scattered freelance gigs.
So sort of bits and pieces.
I mean, if you look at her house, you look at her clothes, you look at her style, if you saw her on the street, you would not think that she's in the financial situation she is. I really commend her for even doing such a piece, you know. And I don't know if they're paying her. Maybe they're paying her to do it. I'm thinking that she's not doing it for free. All right. And maybe it's debt driven that she's even doing this. You know what I'm saying? She could be in financial trouble to where, hey, we'll pay you to do this documentary on your life and we will pay you X amount. And she goes, sure, I'll do it. Man, oh my goodness. Let me look at what Cosmic Wisdom says. Cosmic Wisdom says, I saw this all the time when I go back home to DC. Remember, I told you the script for the debt collectors in DC. It's all over America, faking normal. Woo, what's up, Nicer? Hello. Cosmic Wisdom says, you are so right. Can't carry the debt forever and expect things to be okay. The music will stop at some point. Exactly. So can you imagine, Cosmic Wisdom? Imagine people that call themselves forever students. Can you imagine? One day they're going to have to stop going to school, or the people that are going to school take the money and leave, right? They go sign up for school, get student loan money and never use it and just cash it and use it for whatever. Ooh, those people are in so much financial trouble.
That allow me to cobble together income.
But nowhere near the income of the past.
No.
Not even close.
No. I mean, I have years of, under 30,000.
Help has come from unexpected sources, like neighborhood free spirit Elijah, a clothing minimalist.
I was getting on the far side of where my mortgage company was getting like serious with me.
Because you were behind in your payment.
Behind. He just said, Lizzie, I'll do it. I can do it.
But I'll do it, meaning I'll make up the
Yes,
difference.
I will do it.
He'll pay your mortgage.
Right. So this is my Elijah. This is my Elijah. Yeah.
I'm people's Elijah.
The Vietnam vet gets about $900 in monthly benefits, saves almost half.
I'm not a things person. How much money do you think I'm spending on my attire? Okay.
As he says, I have a few friends like you who are in the stuff world, is what he calls. You're always getting into some kind of mishap.
Grateful to get by with a little help from her friends, White was also embarrassed.
You're the loser. You know, how can you have this kind of background and be landing here?
There must be something wrong with
It
you.
has to be. And then you read things like, oh, it's the latte factor. It's all that bottled water you were drinking. You know, it's
The latte factor, you were spending too much money on at Starbucks.
Right.
But you could have saved more, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So are you?
I could have not started a business. I stayed.
You know, it's so, okay. Like we're just watching, so I don't really know her full financial situation, but I promise you this. If you get out of debt, you start with your personal finances. Treat your personal finances like a business. There's a 80 to 90% chance you won't end up in this particular situation. Like right now, she's in a dire situation right now, right? But she's still trying to hold on to this mortgage. Because she really believes this house is hers, even though she's behind on the mortgage. And by the way she's describing her mortgage, I bet you it's a subprime mortgage. It's got to be, because she's probably refinanced it. So, I mean, they said in the beginning she's refinanced her house or her place or wherever she lives many times. So 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a prime mortgage. It's going to be a subprime mortgage for sure. It's probably an FHA mortgage too.
At the World Bank, not taking that, risk.
But she did. Her reward, financial fragility. Something she now shares with a surprisingly large portion of the former so-called middle class. From Washington, D.C., this is economics correspondent Paul Solman, grateful to be reporting for the PBS NewsHour.
Wow, that was amazing. That was a really good one. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one. That was a really good one. Now, I know if you're in your 20s and you're in your 30s and you probably think that's so far away from me. That'll take forever. That's just years away. No, it's not. It's not that far. You think it's that far, but it's not really that far. And if you keep up with the pattern of keeping up with the Joneses and pretending, faking, because this is how I can see that people are faking trillions of dollars in student loan debt. Trillions. That's 45 million people. And they're faking it. That's 40. And I bet you out of those 45 million, there's quite a few financial advisors in that lump of mess. They're giving out financial advice. Giving out financial advice while they have 20-plus-year-old student loans. That doesn't even make any type of financial sense whatsoever. If this is you, you are not alone. You know what kind of victory that is if you get your finances to zero? If you get your net worth to zero. Because I don't want you guys to confuse people that claim their net worth with things that their name is on it and the bank's name is on it. People do that all the time. Oh, I got equity this in this, and the bank's name is on this property. No. No. If they believe that, whatever, they just believe that, but it's not true. Because if you go to somebody and say, hey man, what do you own that just has your name on it and not the bank's name on it? People will be like, oh man, nothing. Exactly. Nothing. Those people are faking it. They're pretending. People believe they can get something without using any money of their own. That's what the bank makes people believe. That's conditioning. And if you're in a house and you have a mortgage, stop calling yourself a homeowner. Just go like this. And this is for you. Okay. Say like, keep reminding yourself saying, I'm renting from the bank. I'm renting. And every time somebody asks you if you're a homeowner, turn to them and say, nope, not yet. I'm renting from the bank. After a while, you're going to get tired of saying that. You really are. You're going to get tired of saying that and say to yourself, I've been saying this for the last 10, 15 years. I'm renting from the bank. And each time you refinance your house, you're starting that 30-year clock all over again. Man, I tell you. BK from the Rocky says, this woman in the video looks familiar. I think Obsidian, another YouTuber, spoke on this video a while ago. Probably so. And people think she's alone. She's not alone. There's millions of people, trillions in mortgage debt, trillions in car loan debt, trillions in credit card debt, trillions in finance phone debt. There's trillions of dollars. She is not alone, people. Did you see her house in this video? Did you look around her house? If you walked in her house and you didn't know she was in this financial situation, would you think she's broke by looking at her? Would you think she's broke? Look at her hair. She was well put together and she's broke, but you can't see it. There's a lot of people doing that. Hello, Nicole. Snuggles, what's up? Nicer, what's up? Millions of people are doing this, you guys. And this is how you change this. First of all, if this is you, admit it to yourself. Say, this is me, and I'm going to put a stop to it. I can help you put a stop to it. You just got to believe in mathematics. That's all I ask of you. Believe in mathematics. So if you come to me, right, and I lay out a plan for you and you look at it and you have any questions, you're like, oh, I don't think that's right, or this is too hard. The only thing I'm going to say to you is this, but is my math right? Oh, my friend down the street said you do this instead of that. And that's fine and everything, but is my math right? Is that person that you're getting financial advice from, have you seen their personal credit report? No? Then what are you taking advice from them? Because they told you they have money, that you can see their stuff, you can see their car. Look at this lady. If you walk into her house, you would swear she's not broke. Where she lives in DC, you would, oh man, this is a nice looking neighborhood. You can't be broke living here. Yes, you can. People do it every day. You just can't see it. Don't fall for the fake. Don't be part of fake America. If you get off that side, right, it's a double-edged sword, okay? If you get off that side of debt and you come over here, people like this woman in this video are a necessary evil. This is necessary for us over here to remain rich, to remain wealthy, because it's sad to see, but I want you to understand something. It's all a choice. That woman chose to be in that situation. How did she choose it? She chose not to believe in mathematics. Anybody I do financial business with on a serious level, I'm going to see their personal credit report first. I don't care if they like it or not. Who cares how they feel about it? If the answer is no, okay, cool. Then we ain't doing business. But until I can see your personal credit report, because I absolutely refuse to take financial advice from anybody with student loans that are older than their children. I'm not taking it. That doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. None. Snuggle says that is sad. Yeah, well, it's sad. Yeah, I guess. NonstopDRE says, how much money do you think you would have now if you knew this in your early 20s? Oh, I'd have been a multimillionaire, Dre. Multimillionaire. I'm going to still be a multimillionaire, but I'm just saying I would have been a multimillionaire in my 20s. Definitely. Okay. I'd say I'd have been a millionaire in my 20s and I would have been a multimillionaire in my 30s. Because let me tell you something, this Drake, because I know you're young. Check it out. This is how easy it is to become a millionaire. Start at zero. In order for you to count from 0 to 1 million, you must start at 0. I'm trying to simplify this as easy as possible. Okay. In order for you to reach 1 million, you must start at 0. This is what math says. Math says you must go 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 1 million. That's what math says. Now, if you add up all your savings and add up all your debt and you're at a large negative number, you are under 0. So if you're under zero, you got to start way down there to count to $1 million. So if say like you added up all your debt and it was negative 50,000. Okay. In order for you to get to $1 million, you must go, okay, negative 50,000, negative 49,000, negative 48,000, negative 4, blah, 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 all the way up to zero. And then once you get to zero, and then you can count up to $1 million. This is what mathematics says. Nobody will be able to fool you once you get out of debt. Financial scams, all that stuff. Financial scams don't make financial sense. That's how to tell it's a financial scam. I'm telling you guys all in this room how easy it is to become a millionaire, especially if you're in your 20s. If I was in my 20s, first I would have started like this. You got to start with a job. Okay, you don't necessarily have to, but in order to start out making money, you practice with a regular job. You understand the purpose of taxes. Okay, the taxes you don't pay that the majority do pay is money in your pocket. So if I could go back in my 20s and start out, I would have maxed out every single pre-tax option that was available to me at the workplace. I would have been maxing out my 401k, not maxing out the match, but maxing out the $19,000 and the HSA, which is $35,000 or $7,000, counts on your family situation. I would have maxed out all pre-tax options, which would have lowered me in my tax bracket. People in debt have to stay high in their tax bracket because they don't have any money to afford to max out their 401k. You see what I'm saying? The majority cannot afford to do that. So they don't really understand it. They just believe they're getting a match. Like, here's an example. Say like you add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. That's a large negative number. People that are in the negative, they somehow believe that means this is how much money they have to contribute to their 401k to get this so-called match. If they're in the negative, it's mathematically impossible for them to contribute any money to their 401k, but yet they believe they're contributing negative money to get a negative match on 6%. That's mathematically impossible. But if they believe that, that's a necessary evil. They must remain believing that. People must remain, check this out. People must remain believing they are homeowners while having mortgages. People must remain believing that they can finance a car and get it on sale. Nobody gets a finance car on sale. Nobody in the world. But yet people finance cars every day, go home and say, hey, I got this car on sale. No, you didn't. But they must believe that. People must believe that it's okay to finance cell phones. They must believe that. This is how, when you're on the other side of, there's two sides of credit. There's the consumer side and there's the business side. Once you get on the business side of credit, you'd be like, oh, I didn't realize if you finance a car, you're financing the taxes too. If you finance anything, you're financing the taxes too. Everybody that financed something, they're getting double taxed and don't even know it. One they can see and one they can't, AKA phantom income. People in debt cannot see this. You don't believe me? Go up to somebody that finances cars on a regular and tell them that, hey, when you finance cars, you're financing the taxes too. They won't even hear you. They won't even hear you. Go up to a person with a mortgage and say, hey, you're not a homeowner when you have a mortgage on your house. They won't even hear you. You know why? Because they only speak debt. They have no idea the language of debt-free even exists. People believe, I bet when people listen to me, they think, oh, what do you mean there's two languages when it comes to money? I'm giving you guys tests to go out and just test the world, test the majority of people in the debt matrix. How many of you guys use that scenario that I always use? Go to your social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, right? And I want you to put this up there. Okay, put this up there. If you had $100,000 worth of debt, student loan debt, $100,000 of student loan debt, but you won $80,000, okay? What would you do? Okay, just post that. If you were in $100,000 worth of student loan debt and you won $80,000, what would you do? Just post that. See how many answers you get back. You will get back so many answers, a ton of answers, right? And then you got to ask yourself, when they come back, you say, why am I getting so many answers when there's only one? 80,000 minus 100,000 is negative 20,000. You're still in debt. There's only one answer. You got to put the whole 80 on the 100,000 because there's nothing left. There's negative. You still got negative $20,000. Even if you took the 80,000 and put it on all of it on the $100,000 worth of debt, you're still in the whole negative 20,000. But why do people believe there's multiple answers? Because they only speak debt. This is not a trick, people. I'm not tricking anybody. You get out of debt. It's unstoppable. You can have as much money as you wish. You will clearly see the path to become a millionaire, multimillionaire, billionaire, whatever. Those are just names, okay? Billionaire, millionaire, whatever. Once you get to a certain level of money, you're not really even thinking about money like that anymore. I don't think about money like that. I don't think about money like that. And I tell you, some of my clients that come to me, right? And I see their financial situation, and I see them working 2 and 3 jobs, and they're just trying to figure this out, man. Because the majority of people believe having 2 and 3 jobs is normal. That's not normal. I don't even want to work a regular job, let alone 2 or 3. But they don't know they're putting themselves there. And I get sort of emotionally involved in helping my clients because I can see when you're outside looking in, like when you're in debt, you're really blinded by debt. You can't really see. Everything's coming at you, due dates, and this is due, that's due, late fees here, late fee. That's a lot of stuff. But when you're on the outside looking in, I'm glad my clients trust me enough to say, I can see something that you cannot see. And the difference between believing me is mathematics. I showed them the math. See, look. Is that math right? Yeah. Does my math match your calculator? Yeah. So I need you to trust me and trust mathematics. But people are so overwhelmed, it's really hard to see through the blinding of debt. Debt just blinds you. It consumes you. And when I have clients, sometimes I really feel for my clients. I'm like, hey, man, just trust me on this. Follow this plan and you will be free. I try not to get emotionally involved, but I can't help it sometimes. I look at a person's situation, I'll be like, dang. I see these places that they go to try to think they're helping them. They're not really helping them. I mean, they are, but they're taking advantage of your financial situation. It's just business. I don't downplay other businesses that take advantage of people and their finances because it's business. It's nothing personal. If it's legal, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Cosmic Wisdom says, so what would be your approach to using a mortgage to buy a house? Personally, Cosmic Wisdom, I would, if I didn't have the cash to buy a house, the only mortgage I would use would be the best one on the market. The absolutely very best on the market. So I would walk into any bank or the biggest bank in the city or whatever, right? And I'd walk in and say, hey, I want the best one on the market. But also, Cosmic Wisdom, soon as they run my credit, soon as the bank would run my credit report, right, they would not insult me with anything less because they would look at my credit report, clearly see that I'm not in debt, clearly see that I have the money to put down on the house. They would clearly understand that I'm not walking into the bank, crossing my fingers and hoping I get the mortgage. I'm walking in the bank to see if I'm going to get my mortgage from this bank. I'm only getting the best on the market, period. So that there's only 2 ways to buy a house in my mind: cashola and the best mortgage on the market. That's it. That's it. Nothing less. So if they say, hey, we got this, I mean, they wouldn't insult me with an FHA mortgage, VA mortgage, any of those subprime mortgages. They wouldn't insult me with those. Okay. NonstopDRE says, I told a grown adult that has a mortgage they are not a homeowner, and they got mad at me. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Dre, you got to remember this, okay? First, I want you to pay attention to their emotional response. You got to think to yourself, don't get emotionally involved when they get mad. You got to understand it's necessary for them to believe that. You're coming telling them something that is true, Because you could stop and say, wait till they're done throwing their tantrum, and you could say, but is my math right? They gotta have to agree with you, but 9 times out of 10 they won't. They'll come up with some excuse. Oh, the bank's name is really not on the deed, but it's really can't. They just come up with all these excuses, right? You gotta leave it alone and understand this. If you want to remain rich, you want to remain wealthy, the majority must believe they are homeowners while having 30-year mortgages. They must believe that. And if you want your friends, Dre, if you want people to still like you can't say things like that to them because they will get upset. But if you think to yourself, why are they getting mad at mathematics? I don't know. It's conditioning. It's conditioning. Pay Yourself First says, do Eskimos finance their igloos? What about property tax on igloos? I have no idea. I have no idea. NonstopDRE says, thoughts on VA home loans? No, don't ever do that. Don't ever do a VA loan, ever. I know VA loans sound special to veterans. I know it sounds special, but they're doing them so dirty with those VA loans. That's bad. That's bad news. That is very bad news. VA loans will allow a veteran to finance 100% of the house. That's bad news. That's not good news. That's bad news. That's very bad news. If you need a loan to finance 100% of the house, because plus VA loans have what's called a funding fee, right? It's not free. No, you don't have PMI, private mortgage insurance, but there's a fee. It's called a funding fee. Okay, it's just a different way of saying PMI. When you understand money and you understand how it works, you're not paying fees that you don't normally have to pay. If you can go get a conventional and get a conventional without all those fees, save up for a conventional. The reason why because banks still loan the money. The VA is just the front. The VA stands between the banks here, the VA, whoever they are, and the person buying the house. So the bank loans the money. The VA charges this funding fee. So just in case this person defaults, all these funding fees add up to millions of dollars, right? So if the person defaults, the VA pays off the bank, says, here's your money. We're going to pay it off, and they get it through the funding fees. Because if a person doesn't realize the very reason why they have to finance 100% of the house because they don't have any money, there's a reason for that. They don't have money. All they have to do is trust mathematics. 30 years? People that finance get subprime mortgages, I guarantee you they're going to refinance that house several times before they're kicked out of it. Guaranteed. Good questions, you guys. Good questions. Any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? Please don't forget to hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys come across some videos that you want me to do some reviews on, please don't hesitate to do that. Please don't hesitate to send me out there. Let me set this up here, copy. Just in case anybody want to jump on here and come in here, you don't have to necessarily get on camera. You could just use your voice to ask a question. But these are great questions. I try to keep it as simple as possible because I don't want people to. Because I can only imagine for people in debt. For example, here I am, college educated. First 40 years of my life, I'm college educated, 6-figure job, and I was still living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know my tax bracket. I never once maxed out my 401k or my HSA, never once. What else did I do? I financed several cars. I lived in a fancy high rise that I was paying almost $1,800 a month for a one level. What else? I just didn't know. I was faking. If you saw me back in the day and you saw where I worked, I was an engineer. If you saw where I lived, you saw my car, you would not believe I was broke, but I was broke. NonstopDRE says, do you think taxation is theft? Nope, I do not. Taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. There is a purpose for them. You can legally not pay taxes, Dre. Legally. You can legally not pay taxes. If you figure it out, this is what you got to remember, Dre. Don't jump on the bandwagon with the other people in the debt matrix, okay? People in the debt matrix believe taxation's theft, taxes the very reason that's keeping us down, blah, 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 blah. But if everybody, put it this way, in order for this whole system to work, everybody must participate. Because everybody would be selfish. Everybody they wouldn't give up money to do anything for the city and to keep the way of living, and all. People would just hoard all the money themselves if it was like that. But you can't do that. Figure out, look at it this way. Why is it? I mean, I could tell you why, but why is it that you can go to prison for tax evasion? You can go to prison. But yet you can owe the same amount to student loan debt for your entire life. It's money, right? It's just money. Well, what's the difference? There's a reason. Take the time to figure it out. You got to get out of debt first to see the purpose of taxes. Taxes is how everything is controlled. That's how it's. If you get out of debt, you could legally not pay taxes for the rest of your life legally. Okay. What's up, Quentin? I threw your question on. Oh, was that you, Quentin? You did throw me that question, right? It is Quentin. Okay. I don't know if we're switching last names. I don't know. All right. E-Man says, do you think the government depend a lot on consumption tax for it to work? What do you mean by consumption tax, E-Man? What does that mean? Let me tell you guys something. Get out of debt and you could see the purpose of taxes. And people are like, oh, taxes is against the law. You don't then stop paying them and see what happens. Stop thinking that the rich are somehow people believe the rich don't pay taxes. That's not true. Everybody must pay taxes because that would be tax evasion. Right? It doesn't matter the level amount of money you make. The more money you make and you don't pay taxes, you got a big red spotlight on you, a big white spotlight on you, thinking because tax evasion. Let's put it this way: when you purposely do tax evasion, that's obvious to see because it's just mathematics. It's obvious. When you don't pay your taxes by accident, that is also obvious to see. You can see somebody purposely or somebody that accidentally didn't pay their fair share and the people that purposely didn't pay their fair share. Okay, that is obvious. Oh, okay. Okay. We got a couple of Quintins in here. All right. This is the Quentin that sent me the question. All right. There's Quentin, Cameron, Quentin. How many Quintins are there, man? Jeez. All right. 2 different spellings too. All right, cool. Quentin, I in the beginning of this video, I addressed your question about the car loans and stuff like that. So thank you for sending me that question. I appreciated that. But I looked at that Quentin. I'm like, okay, no, it's not that Quentin. Because some people use different names, different this. I just got to make sure I'm not blurting out anybody's information because I don't know who's doing what. So I'm just going by your name that I see. So it was from Quentin Sanders. Okay. E-Man says sales tax. Sales tax. E-Man, I'm trying my best to answer your question mathematically. It's not the government depend on the government. Okay. Stop looking at the government as a separate entity. It's not, it's us. Our family works for the government. Our moms, dads, sons, daughters, they work for the government, right? if you have a family member that works for the government, when they come home, do you yell at them and say, hey, you guys are spending our money like crazy? Do you do that? No, you don't do that. People believe the government's some separate entity. It's not. It's us. All you got to do is figure out, get out of debt, and you could legally, the best way I can describe to you, you could legally not pay taxes. Legally. You don't have to do tax evasion. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is legal. Okay? Hello, Jennifer. Hola, SMD family. Hey, LJ, hope you and your beautiful lady had a Merry Christmas. We did, Jennifer. Thank you. And I hope you did too. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. NonstopDRE says, in your opinion, how much money should a man have by 35? I love your questions, Dre, because you are in your 20s, right? And I don't want you to think like that. Okay. Don't think like you're supposed to have a certain amount of money at a certain age. Get that out of your brain. Get that totally out of your brain. Because if you get caught up, because this is what happens when you think like that, Dre. You'll get to your late 20s, right? And you'll think, oh my God, I'm 30, I'm getting old, right? Which is not old. It's not old at all, right? And then you start to think, oh, I should have a house by now. I should have a car by now. I should have this by now. None of that is true, because if you fall for that, you're going to finance that world because you believe that you're supposed to be at a certain level. And that's not true. Get out of debt first, and you'll realize age has nothing to do with it. Nothing. Age has absolutely nothing to do with it. Get out of debt, and you will have a clear path to know how to become a millionaire. I promise you, you will have a clear path. Nothing will stop you, but you must get out of debt. You must start from zero. This is what math says. In order to build wealth, you must start at zero. That's what zero, $1, $2, $3, $4. If you're in the negative, you got to go. If you're negative 50,000 in the hole, you got to go, okay. All right, here we go. Negative 49,000, negative 48,000, negative 47,000, negative 46,000. And then you got to get all the way up to zero. And now you could start to build wealth, but you have to get to zero first. So having a net worth of zero is a very lovely thing. It's beautiful. You can't tell people in debt. If you got out of debt, right, you paid off every single penny, and finally you are at zero. Okay, you're at zero. You can't go up to people in the debt matrix and say, hey, check it out. I have a net worth of zero now. They will look at you like you are broke, poor, whatever. They will not hear you because they live in the debt matrix. What's up, best version? I ran that video that you posted a comment on faking normal. I did that earlier. Black Knight says, try to put down at least 10% when using a VA loan. If you are retired or retired, then wait until you get your disability rating. Woo! Black Knight, I have to respectfully disagree with you. Do not ever get a VA loan. Ever. Never. The only loan you get for a mortgage is the best mortgage on the market. Whatever the best is, whatever it is, you get the best. VA loans is not the best. I don't see honestly, I don't see how they could do that to veterans using VA loans. I just don't get it. I don't get how they can do that. That just seems unfair to me. Here are people that risk their lives to protect the country, and then they make it look like this VA loan is something special, and they're doing VA veterans some kind of special something. No, it's not. No, it's not. You better not get a VA loan. Better not. You better not. And if you don't believe me, this is all you got to do. You take the VA loan, have somebody run the numbers on the VA loan, and then you compare it to the best top rate mortgage, conventional mortgage on the market, and look at the numbers yourself. You can see the numbers yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Do a comparison. Look at a VA loan on a house that you're looking at right now, a house that you may be looking at. You say, run the numbers with a VA loan, and then run the numbers with the best top rate conventional mortgage on the market in 2019, 2020. And then look at the numbers. and then you tell me which one you would do. It'll be an obvious difference. Obvious. Oh, you sent me part 2 as well. Okay. Oh, update on the lady. Okay, let me see. Oh, you did, didn't you? Let me see. Let me go back there. Oh, part 2. Okay. All right. Just a second here. 1 second.
But first, early.
All right, let's do this because I want to see the part 2. All right, 1 second here. Let me turn that off. All right, let me pause that. All right, let's do this. We're going to watch part 2, the update. We're going to watch the part 2. 1 second. Let me get rid of this. Share screen window. All right, we're going to watch this part 2 on that same lady. Okay. Make sure my thing is still on. Okay. All right, we're going to do part 2 because I want to see what happened with this lady. Okay, here we go.
But first, earlier this year, our economics correspondent Paul Solman profiled Elizabeth White. She was once comfortably middle class, but found herself struggling to make ends meet as she got older. Paul recently checked back in with White and discovered that her story has touched a nerve. It's part of our series, Making Sense, which airs every Thursday.
Every Sunday afternoon, Elizabeth White heads to Malcolm X Park near her home in Washington, D.C. for a therapy session.
Cosmic Wisdom. She lives in D.C. too.
I can work it all out in that park and just dance. And it's festive and it's free.
We first met White in January after she just self-published a book, 55 Unemployed and Faking Normal.
Everybody is pretending.
And that's why you call the book Faking Normal.
Right. Because there's a lot of pressure to seem like you are doing well.
In fact, White had long been on the edge of the financial cliff. Despite a career at the World Bank, graduate degrees from Johns Hopkins and Harvard, she'd been unable to find steady work since the Great Recession. She'd once made
Right there should tell you guys a lot about the business of college education. College education is a business. It is a straight business. I'm noticing that they're not touching on her student loans. They're naming off all these degrees she has. She must be buried in student loan debt. Gotta be.
figures, but she now struggled to pay the mortgage on her townhouse.
But you haven't been in a situation where you literally couldn't afford whatever it is, the condo fee or...
Oh, absolutely, I have. I'm right now have to park outside because I'm in arrears on the condo fee. Right now.
And she'd refinanced to the hilt, taken in a boarder.
Well, you haven't used food stamps.
But I have. I've had to.
White worked scattered freelance gigs, but still had to borrow money from friends like neighborhood free spirit Elijah, a clothing minimalist.
I'm not a things person. How much money do you think I'm spending on my attire? Okay.
White is far from alone, as we learned at what she calls her resilience circle. Deborah Burkholder hadn't had a full-time job since 2009.
Don't have enough to cover January bills if nothing changes. It's hard to predict what will happen the next month. And, and calculating how many times do I have to go through this until I'm buried.
Right now, as I'm watching this other lady here, I want you guys to understand it is possible to look into your financial future today. You can do it right now. Look at your financial situation, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. I keep repeating this, right? You see that large, if it's a large negative number, if you don't take care of that right now, you will be the same situation 10 years from now, 20 years from now, but even deeper in debt. If you take care of it right now, your future will be bright. If not, you're going to be deeper in the hole.
9 months later, the economy has improved with the weather. Although overall unemployment ticked up in August, it's at a low 4.4%. Still, more than 30% of job seekers over age 55 have been out of work for more than half a year. No wonder White's story has resonated in the months since her appearance on the NewsHour.
Spoke to groups in San Francisco, in Boston, in Memphis.
So you've become the voice of faking normal.
I'm becoming a voice for sure. Even as
White has done a number of paid speaking gigs.
Oh, wow.
She even did a TEDx talk in
Wow.
July.
Oh, I did see her before. That's right. I remember that TED Talk.
Success is defined by income. When you say that you have money problems, you're announcing pretty much that you're a loser. When you're a graduate of Harvard Business School, as I am, you're some kind of double loser.
The talk has about 100,000 views already.
I'm getting a lot of thank you for just bringing this topic up. I thought I was by myself. I get a few emails every day of stories of what's happening to people.
What is happening to people?
People are worried. Someone wrote me that they had to move out of their housing into subsidized housing. They never expected to land there. They had to give up their car. They're doing jobs that they never expected that they would have to do, dog walking and all of this.
I would have humble you quick.
Become more reassured about yourself as you encounter more and more people who have had the same experience?
I have become more convinced that I'm doing the work I'm supposed to do. I did a great consultancy since I saw you with Senior Service America, helping low-income older adults find work.
I want you guys to notice this, okay? I want to point this out. When you, like, sometimes the universe forces you to do things. When you don't see it, sometimes the universe will force you to do it, right? So this humbling experience that she has experienced at age 63, right? It has forced her into something that she didn't expect to be doing talks, educating people. Now she looked like she sounds like she's starting to make money now. Let's see.
Part of her work with the group, White went to speak to ex-factory workers in rural Martin, Tennessee.
The factory had been, China, Mexico, outsourced somewhere. And then they were left at 50, 55, 57, maybe with a high school education, maybe a little bit of college. And they were jettisoned out of the workforce. And I got a standing ovation there.
Wow.
And then the Great Recession hit.
That impresses me.
Before that, I was at an event at MIT. These were former high earners.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be me right there. That's definitely going to be me, for sure.
And
with those
hearing
kind of talks.
the two conversations close together, they were almost exactly the same. It didn't matter whether you gave up salmon or catfish.
I need to hook up with this lady.
It was the same conversation.
So were you surprised when you went to Martin, Tennessee and saw that factory workers were feeling and talking exactly the same way?
I have a very urban appearance.
Yes, you do.
I had the hair, diamond nose bow. I didn't know kind of how this was. And none of it mattered. None of it mattered.
Because they had been faking normal too.
Yes.
If faking normal
the majority of Americans are faking
sharing
it.
with people candidly what's happening to you and what you're afraid of. Yes. I had a situation here where I spoke and a woman jumped up, screaming and crying, running out of the room. And what she said is, you are telling my story.
Wow.
How did you get into my head? How did you know this was happening to me? How did you...
And people that say things like this, how did you know? How did you? Because once you get out of the debt matrix, you can clearly see everything. It's not... People that are faking it, when you're out of the debt, when you're out of debt, like I'm out of debt, I can see people that are faking it. It's not hard. It's the way people speak about money, the things they do, the things they say. When they bring up their degrees a lot, like, oh, I graduated from Harvard, I did this. That means absolutely nothing when it comes. Debt is the colorblind slave master. Doesn't care your color, your age, your degrees, where you work, how old you are, what state you live in. It doesn't care because all it sees is green.
Convey the pain that I'm feeling about where I've landed. I've had men cry, and absolutely. There's a man, he told me he'd been living in his car. I'd been living in his car. And that was at MIT. He'd been living in his car.
This guy was a former high earner.
Yes.
Living in his car.
Living in his car.
So where are you financially now?
I would say a bit better. Okay. So it's still feast or famine. It is not.
I could help this woman. I could definitely help this woman. I see exactly where she's at.
People want. I don't think it's going to be that for really any of us. Where I am is I can see a pathway forward. I like what I'm doing a lot. I feel like I am contributing. People are getting that affirmation. I feel like I am creating a really interesting casserole of work.
Wow.
And you're making money by doing speaking engagements? I mean, consulting on this issue?
So it's a combination. I sell some books.
Right.
Okay. I do some speaking. I teach. And then I have one remaining consultancy from before. The cobbling that together is enough to kind of keep me, I'm okay.
How you doing? I'm well, how you doing?
But according to White's friend Elijah, whom we bumped into at the park, she has found her purpose.
At first, it was like, I need help. But then now she's got enough of a footing, and you see how there are millions like her. Oh, I've got a purpose. I got to do this.
Life hasn't turned out quite as White expected. She scrimps, doesn't save, but she's drummed up work that matters. You know that line was coming, right? Living a rich life on a modest income and not faking normal anymore.
That was good. That was good. That was really good. I enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that one. That was a good one. I'm actually impressed where she's going with her speaking gigs, because that's what I want. I want to get out there and do speaking gigs at schools, stadiums, wherever, right? Because I can see people that are faking it. I can see them, right? And it's obvious, but with this woman, I can still see that there's a few pieces missing that I could fill those gaps for her. I could see. Now, let me say, okay. Let's go back here. All right. Black Knight says disabled vets don't pay funding fees. This is all I'm saying, Black Knight. I'm only talking mathematics. Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm not saying who pays what, whatever, right? All I'm saying is this, Black Knight, is the VA mortgage loan better than the top rate conventional mortgage? The answer is no. All I'm saying is if you're gonna get a house and you're gonna get a mortgage, get whatever is the best one on the market. Okay. We both know that VA mortgages are not better than the top rate conventional mortgage. It is not. Okay. And I'm only speaking mathematically. Everything else is feelings. How people feel about VA loans is, hey, whatever, hey, vets don't pay this. Okay, whatever. It's just a feeling, nothing more than that. All right, great. But as far as mathematically and money-wise, everyone knows the best top rate mortgage on the market, whatever that is better than any other mortgage on the market. Okay. Health, Weight, and Real Talk says, I have looked into my financial future and I am taking care of stuff now. So next year I won't recognize how good. So I won't recognize how good I have it. I'm not quite sure what you're saying right there. I apologize. Let's see. Health, Weight, and Real Talk says, is she making money from speaking? If not, she should, or create a YouTube channel. She sounds like she is. She sounds like she's making, and that impresses me, honestly, because that's what I want to do. I believe YouTube is the biggest electronic platform, like stage in the internet. But I'm ready to go out and meet people. Like next month, I'm gonna meet somebody that lives here that lives here in South Carolina. So I'm gonna meet them next month. I really want to meet people in person so they can see that I'm real, you know. All right, NonstopDRE says, I have 10% disability from the military, but I would not buy a house unless I can pay for it cash. Now, Dre, paying cash for a house, there are ways to do it. Look for tax liens, because as long as there are people with mortgages, you will never have to pay full price for a house ever. Look for tax liens, foreclosures, people with FHA mortgages. They're prime candidates for foreclosures, because FHA mortgages are horrible. Okay, FHA mortgages are only for people that cannot afford homes but refuse to accept that they cannot afford homes. Okay, so you will never have to pay full price for a house. So if you decide to pay cash for a house, that's what I'm saying. Look for foreclosures, tax liens, all that kind of stuff. Never full price. The sticker price of the house, if you're out of debt and you have money, the sticker price for a house, current market value of a house, no longer applies to you when you buy, only when you sell. Okay. Black Knight says she is broke because she was reckless with her money. She quit her job and borrowed from her 401k to start an African furniture store. I mean, we don't really, do we know that? No, we don't know that. I mean, what if she borrowed from her 401k, Black Knight, and she was successful in her African store? Nobody will think twice about it. It really all starts beforehand. Okay. If I got a hold of her before she started her African store, I probably would have looked at it and said, oh yeah, you can't do that. You're deep in debt. You don't want to do that. But who knows who she had around her? She probably was passionate about her African store. Who knows? But it starts with looking at your personal finances like a business. This is what I always say to people. If your personal finances were a business today, would you still be in business? If the answer is no, that is where you need to start. Okay. If I ask you a question, these are simple questions. If I asked you, hey, do you know your tax bracket? If the answer is no, that's where you need to start. If I ask you how much debt you are in today, and the answer is I don't know, that is where you need to start. You do not need to get in any kind of business. You do not need to invest in anything outside yourself, insurance policies, stock market, Bitcoin, none of that. None of that, because you have no money. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to contribute toward your retirement. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to contribute to the stock market. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for Bitcoin. If that number's in a negative, you do not have any money to do anything outside yourself. This is what mathematics says. If you just believe math, you will be rich. The only difference between the wealthy and the not wealthy is mathematics. I see debt, people. Yep, that's one of my memes there, Jennifer. I see debt, people. NonstopDRE says, sadly, kids in college still believe the lie of any degree is a good degree. You know what? That's true. Like right now, TV, family, people, they push on kids that say, if you don't get a college degree, you're going to be nobody. That's not true. That's not true. You got to always consider the source. If you're young right now and you got somebody saying, hey, get a college degree, get a college degree, this is what I want you to say to them. Hey, are you still paying on your student loans? You ask them, oh, do I get a college degree? Okay, cool. How did you pay for yours? They'll tell you whatever, right? Are you still paying on them? When did you graduate? 20 years ago? Why are you still paying on your student loans? You don't listen to anybody that has student loans that are older than their children. Don't ever listen to anybody like that. Hyphy says, I already see the play. Yep. NonstopDRE says, I don't think you would be allowed to speak on college campuses because you speak the truth and logic. You know, Dre, I think if I spoke on college campuses, okay, check it out, Dre. I believe they would allow me because they understand that the majority are not going to hear me anyway. You guys see the way I speak. This is why I believe my purpose here is to create the next generation of millionaires, multimillionaires, whatever they want to be. It's totally up to them. I'm here to do that, right? Because the majority are not here. I'm preaching just mathematics. Hey, don't finance cars, don't finance cell phones. You think the majority are going to listen to me? They can't even hear me. You guys forget that even though you're part of the SMD family, you must remember this. I'm speaking debt free. People in debt cannot hear me. Even if I come up to somebody with a brand new iPhone 11 in their hand and say, hey, you should never finance a cell phone. That's one of the worst things to do. They will not hear me. You guys think I'm joking when I say that this is true. There's two languages when it comes to money, debt and debt free. If you've been in debt all your life, you only speak debt. I promise you. Health Weight and Real Talk says, I meant to say that next year I'll have it so good that I won't relate to how bad I had it in 2019. Okay, I kind of figured you said that, but I wanted you to word it yourself. And once the best way I can tell you guys, once you get out of debt, your whole financial world is going to change. You're going to see, let's put it this way. I can clearly see there's two economies. There's the consumer economy, and there's the business economy. People that are in debt, and the people that there's the people that speak debt-free economy, and there's the people that speak debt economy. I lived in here, the debt economy, for the first 40 years of my life. Now that I'm out, I can clearly see how to become a millionaire. It's crystal clear. It's not even hard. You know how to do it? Trust mathematics. You want to be rich? Trust your math. If you trust math, you will see it. All you got, when the next time you go finance a car, just do this. How much will I spend if I pay cash for this car? How much will I spend if I finance it? All you got to do is look at the numbers and say, oh, crap. If I finance it, I'll be paying double or triple for the car when I can just pay, and I'll be financing taxes too. When I finance a car, that's it. That's all you got to do. What's up, Mark? Welcome. E-Man says, do you think people will ever wake up to understand they're in debt? It seems lonely. No, they won't, E-Man. And again, this is a necessary evil. The majority of people must remain in the debt matrix. This is a must, because if everybody woke up, the whole system would crash. If everybody listened to what I'm saying right now, the whole economy would crash. And I know people are thinking like, oh, who do you think he is? Who he think he knows all this enough to crash the economy? And I'm explaining it to you so you can understand. If everybody listened to what I'm saying, there'd be nobody left to finance cars, clothes, shoes, washer and dryers, cell phones. They wouldn't use credit cards anymore. They wouldn't believe their homeowners with mortgages. That would stop. There would be nobody signing up for mortgages with subprime mortgages. All that would stop. They'd be like, oh, crap, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's what math says. Math says you don't do that, but there would be nobody left. So that would mean the whole economy would crash. But the majority must remain in the debt matrix. So it wouldn't matter where I spoke, what college campus that I spoke on. Doesn't matter what school. Doesn't matter. Because there's only a few people that are going to hear me. Because you guys have no idea how many people write me and say, Linnell, man, I thought I was crazy. I heard the way you speak. That's how I always thought, but there was nobody around me I could ask. Exactly, because the majority of people are in debt. They only speak debt. Hyphy says, Linnell, those credit card companies that set up booths would protest against you being able to speak at colleges where they solicit debt to youth. You know what? And they have enough money to keep me out. Right there, Hyphy, I agree with that part. The credit card companies have enough money to keep me off of campus. Okay, that is true. But we have the world of the internet right now. I don't really need to go on college campuses, okay? I can be on YouTube and spread whatever, and they can't stop that. They can't stop that. But again, credit card companies are making trillions of dollars. They're not really worried about me, okay? I don't want you to think that even if I came onto a campus and spoke, and credit card companies, they're not worried about me. They understand that I'm the minority. Oh, LJ's just talking crazy. Everybody needs credit cards, and everybody in debt's going to believe that. If you've been raised to believe that you need credit card for emergencies, me speaking is not really going to break it. But if I come across a kid that just looks at math and say, oh my God, he's right, his math is right, I believe him. Okay, cool. NonstopDRE says, I hear people in college talk about their credit card debt like it's no big deal, especially girls joking about finding a rich guy someday. Exactly. You hear all NonstopDRE. That's debt talk. They don't know they're speaking debt. Let me tell you guys something. Once you get out of debt, there is no way. This goes for guys and girls. There is no way once you become 100% debt free, the struggles you took to get out of debt, there is no way you are going to tie your horse and buggy to somebody that's in debt. There's nobody. I would not take anybody serious, any woman on earth serious if she was in debt and didn't care about being in debt. If I came across a woman and she was just like super fine, and I mean, I'm with somebody now, but I'm just saying, if I was still out there and she was super fine, and I come to find out she got $100,000 in student loan debt, and I say, hey, what you gonna do about that? She'd be like, oh, I'm not worried about it. It's forever loan. I'd say we can be friends. There's absolutely no reason or purpose to go any further than that. I'm not dating anybody that's in debt. Sorry, not doing. They're just gonna drag you down. Whether they notice or not is irrelevant. It's mathematics. Dre says, I've mentioned you to Aaron Clary on his live stream. You should email him. Let me write that down. Aaron Clary. You guys be throwing some names at me. I don't even know who these people are. Aaron Clary. I will look him up. Thank you, Dre. Appreciate that. I appreciate you guys getting my name out there, getting my channel out there. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to get on some financial channels, man, but it is I don't know. I just got to put in work. Consistency is what makes it happen. Okay. Consistency is what makes things happen. And as you can see, you guys, I am consistent. Okay. I try to get people in here that agree with me, don't agree with me, what I'm saying. Everything, and I promise you, everything I say, I can justify with mathematics. Anybody that says one thing, I just say, but is my math right? My math will always be right. That's all I'm preaching here. Is my math right? If my math is right, I'm right. I will never lose. How do I know this? Because math says so. Math says I will always be right. Math is on my side. Math is timeless. Math doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care. If you get this in your head, if you get this in your mind, if you make this your way of life, this is my way of life. I'm never going back into debt, ever. You will never see me on a car lot financing a car. I couldn't even imagine sitting on a car lot all day, signing paperwork that's going to lock me to a depreciating object for 72 months. I ain't never doing that. That's financial suicide. If you're financing a car, that is financial suicide. I've been trying to point these things out so people can see it. Just the little things. You walk on a car lot, you run your credit, they go by your gross income, money that you're not even going to get right off the bat. You're upside down. You're upside down in the car already. Your monthly payment is based on your gross income. Right off the bat, you're upside down. Don't even know it. You haven't even got the car yet. They pick one of the 3 credit scores. What if they pick in the lowest credit score so they can charge you the highest interest rate right off the bat? Don't even know. You finance a car, you're financing the taxes too. You're deep in the debt, right? You're upside down in the car. You still don't even know it yet. You even got the keys yet. And then when they add in all this stuff, undercoating, this and that, bumper to bumper warranty, blah, blah, blah. You're just so far underwater in that car, you can't even see it. People in debt do not see it. Any questions, you guys? Any questions? We're about an hour and 30 minutes in here. Let me know if there's any something else you guys want to see. You know what I'm saying? Are there any things that you guys want to see on the channel for me to do more of, or what? You guys let me know what you want to see. Because these, I'm gonna do some more of these SMD reviews because I like, but I gotta, and I appreciate. I appreciate Best Version sending me what you've been sending me. I appreciate it. Cool and Coffee, how to start a small business. I don't talk about anything outside of personal finances, Cool and Coffee, but I appreciate your question. I don't talk about anything outside of personal finances at all. I help people create the business of themselves first. Create if their personal finances, this is what I do, Cool and Coffee. If your personal finances were a business today, would you still be in business? And if your finances are in a negative, the answer is no. Not saying you specifically, but this is where I start. I start people here, so when they're ready to create their own business, they will know exactly what to do. Okay, they will know exactly who to see, who to talk to, et cetera, et cetera. Dre says, I had a female English professor who bragged about her master's degree and talks down her husband's bachelor degree in engineering, making over 100,000. I bet her husband probably paid off her loans. Ain't that crazy? People be comparing college degrees like they mean anything. They don't mean anything. They don't mean nothing. They don't mean anything. Anything. College degrees mean nothing, especially if you got a master's degree in some Harvard, whatever, right? But you're paying on that master's degree for 20, 30 years. Is it really, how much you paying for that degree? People that pay on college degrees for 20 years, they still believe they paid the price that it really cost back when they was going. They didn't pay that price. They paid probably 3-4 times that price. And talking about, school's expensive for people that keep college degrees for 20, 30 years. Cool and Coffee says, makes sense. Appreciate your input. Hey, appreciate you for the question, man. Thank you very much. Any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? If you guys follow any other finance channels and they are looking for people to come on their channel, please recommend me. Please throw out my name. Please throw out my channel. I'm so itching to get on somebody else's financial channel, right? I just want to. I want to show you guys that this is not hard what I'm doing. The hardest part is this: accepting that you're in debt and then doing what it takes to get out of debt. Those are going to be the two very hard things. Oh, and one more. You must ignore all the people that live in the debt matrix. You must ignore them. They're going to be giving you all kind of advice. Why are you doing that? That's stupid. You can invest your money instead. Why pay off your student loans? Your student loans are only this 6%, and you can put your money in the stock market and you can do this and earn this much money. Then you can take that money and pay down off your student loan. When you come across people that give you kind of advice like that, because I hate it when I hear that type of advice, people that say, don't pay off your student loans and invest it in the stock market and use that money to pay off your student loans. This is what I want you to say to them. Okay. If my finances are in the negative, where's the money coming from that I'm going to invest in the stock market to earn interest to pay off these student loans? It's mathematically impossible to invest negative dollars. Where am I supposed to get this money? You know what they're going to have to say to you? You're going to have to borrow that money because you physically have no money. So you have no money to invest in the stock market to earn. You can't earn interest off of negative dollars. That's mathematically impossible. That's what you say to people like that because they're telling you something. When people tell you that to invest instead of paying off your student loans, in actuality, they're telling you about their personal finances because people that manage money well will tell you, get rid of that student loan. That is the worst debt to have. Student loan debt is the worst. It's only second to IRS debt. Student loan debt is the worst debt to have, the absolute worst, but people minimize that. Don't ever do that. What's up, Kurt? Welcome. Kurt says, howdy. Welcome, welcome. Any other questions? We're going in an hour and 40 minutes. Any other questions? This is Q&A Sunday. Q&A Sundays are for anybody that has personal finance questions whatsoever. Everything, the answer, I guarantee you I'll have an answer for you, and everything will be justified using mathematics. Okay? Mathematics. NonstopDRE says, but you can't put a price on education. The greatest lie ever. Sure is. Isn't that, when I watch commercials like that on college education right now, oh my goodness. And when I listen to Dave Ramsey and a caller calls up and says they have about $300,000 worth of debt and they don't have a degree and they're only making $30,000, $40,000 a year, I want to literally cry for that person. I do. I want to cry for that person. 300 grand? Oh man, good luck with that. Dynamite Wolf says, every time I try to tell someone that financing is dumb, nobody understands. And when the general population believes that financing is helpful, I end up looking retarded. This is Dynamite. This is what I keep telling people. Okay. This is what I keep telling people. This is what I keep telling people. People in debt live in the debt matrix. They only speak debt. So Dynamite Wolf, when you speak debt free, you're speaking debt free to them. When you speak debt free, you might as well imagine you are the Charlie Brown teacher voice. For those of you youngsters, go look it up on YouTube. The Charlie Brown teacher voice. That's how you sound to people in debt. That's why they're looking at you like you're crazy. They're like, what is he talking about? You're just going wonk 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 wonk. That's what you're saying. That's why they're looking at you like that. NonstopDRE says, what is your email? Let me throw that up there. Where did I put that? Right there, NonstopDRE. That's my email. Free 30-minute consultation. If you want to help get your finances straight, I lay out a plan for you. I can lay out a debt-free plan for you right off the bat. I promise you. I guarantee you I can. Okay. Guaranteed. Will you like it? What you have to do? It's going to be some work. If you come to me, understand this, because I need people to understand this. I create plans for you to pay off your debt. I create a plan for you to pay off your debt. So if you want to come to me and thinking there's another way I'm going to show you other than paying off your debt, it's not. So I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to get me confused with a credit fixer, people that fix your credit, raise your credit so you can get more. Because I hear people all the time, hey, I'm trying to raise my credit score so I can get a car. If you're trying to raise your credit score to go deeper in debt with a car, I'm not the person you come to. I won't give you advice for that. I won't help you with that. You continue to go to a credit fixer. I promise you. Okay. James Stokes says, you can't go through any government program and ask for money for a business. First thing they look at, are you paying your student loans back? You better believe they are. But check this out, James. Check this out. If I was a bank and somebody with a good job, good credit, and student loans that are older than their children, I would qualify them for a mortgage. You know why? Because if they haven't paid back their student loans for 20 years, if they have student loans that are older than their children, they're definitely not going to pay off this house. You think that if they have $100,000 in student loan debt, you think they're going to pay off a $300,000 or $400,000 house? No, they're not. No, they're not. As a bank, I will own that house the entire amount of time they live in it. And all the while, they'll be calling themselves homeowners. I wouldn't care what they call themselves. Don't even care. Whatever. Dre says, Dre 360 says, you should watch Aaron Clary video titled The Greatest Rant Against Student Loans. Sometime it's 55 minutes long. Oh, I'm going to check him out as soon as we get off this stream. I'm going to go check that dude out. Okay. Thank you for recommending that. Yeah. Dynamite Wolf is, hey man, you laughing, right? But it's true. I always give examples for you guys to go out into the debt matrix and test to see if I'm just joking. There's two languages when it comes to money, debt and debt free. If you've been in debt all your life, you have no idea the language of debt free even exists. Have no clue, let alone people in debt believe there's always being debt. You need debt to finance a car. You need credit, blah, 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 right? Go out and test the theory. Hey, if you had $100,000 of student loan debt and won $80,000, what will you do? People in debt will come up with 50,000 answers when there's only one. You can't do anything. You're still negative $20,000 in the hole. Why do they believe you can do something else? Because they only speak debt. When math would clearly show that's not true, you're thinking, why are you coming up with all these answers when it's negative 20? How do you invest negative $20,000? You can't. Why do people, Dynamite, check this out. We need people to be in the debt matrix in order for me to remain free, in order for me to remain rich, to remain wealthy, become a billionaire, blah, giddy, blah, whatever, it doesn't matter. The majority of people must believe they must finance cell phones, cars, washer and dryers, shoes, clothes, red bottoms, red hats, red shirts, whatever, doesn't matter. NonstopDRE says he speaks the truth just like you, but he's blunt and funny. I like blunt and funny people. Okay, I'm definitely going to check him out. Definitely check him out. Oh, did you put the link? Put the link, Aaron Clary's channel for everyone interested. Did you put it up? Where'd you put it at? Nicer, did you put it up there? I don't see it. Oh, there you go. Okay, there it is. All right. I didn't see you post it. Let me throw that up there too, so you guys can see it. Not that you're going to write it down, copy and paste it. Thank you, Nicer. I appreciate it. Dave Ramsey versus Aaron Clary's. Oh, wow. I got to see that too. Because, hey, Dave Ramsey is my mentor. He doesn't know it, but he is the one that definitely got me started, because I had no idea I was in debt. I had no idea. What's crazy? Let me take that back. I believed that debt was just a part of life. I really believed that. I did. I was just like everybody else. Now that I'm free, now let me give you guys an insight of me now. Now that I'm out of debt, I'm on this mission. I'm on this mission to become a multimillionaire, right? I'm just on this mission. But at the same time, I'm helping people at the same time. For you guys to understand this, I don't want you guys to think that only people that come to me have bad credit. I have people across the board, professionals to the average worker. It doesn't matter, because I want you guys to understand it doesn't matter if this person's a doctor, successful business person. It doesn't matter. It's across the board, not people just mismanaging money. Because I don't want you guys to look at a doctor, see a doctor driving a nice Mercedes Benz and think, oh, he's successful because he's a doctor. Remember, the majority of people are faking it. They're pretending. Period. Okay. E-Man says the future is financing everything for those who are in debt. This is how I know I will never be out of business. The profession I chose, thank goodness I chose this profession, because the profession I'm in, I will never, ever, ever be out of business. I will never lack customers, ever, ever. My age range. I have grade school kids following my channel. The youngest so far right now, is in the 5th grade, and she follows my channel. 5th grade. How can a 50-year-old connect with somebody in the 5th grade? Mathematics. Math is timeless. Like I always use this example. If I said in front of a crowd, hey, 5 + 5 = 10. Nobody in the crowd is going to say, a young person to me is going to say, oh, he only knows it's 10 because he's 50 years old. Nobody's going to say nothing like that. That wouldn't make any sense. Math is timeless. It doesn't matter. That's why I connect with grade schoolers. See how that works? Any questions, you guys? Any questions? Okay, we're going to cut this off in about 12 minutes, 2 hours even. Any other questions? Please don't forget to like, subscribe. I want to thank everybody for the donations. Very much appreciated. Thank you. I want to make sure it doesn't matter the amount, for somebody to say, here's some money because I watched your videos and I did this. Because I've had a couple people donate to me and says, hey, man, when you tell me about your the phone savings, man, I've saved so much money per year. That's it. That's it. That's all I need. That keeps me going. Okay, best version says LJ, watch one master teacher. He has a live stream at 2 p.m. on finance. Ooh, okay. All right, best version be coming up with some good ones. Just a second. Let me get that down. Let me set that on my alarm today. Oh, that's in 30 minutes too. Okay. Let me see. One master teacher. Okay. 2 p.m. Okay. 2 p.m. Okay, that's in about 30 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. NonstopDRE says, your thoughts on philosophy of the more I learn, the dumber I feel. Man, that is a good question. I'm gonna tell you guys this, okay? When you get out of debt, and I'm gonna just use myself. When I got out of debt and I saw the reality of the only person that was preventing me from becoming, because when you're having a regular job, okay, when you have a regular job, deep down in your mind, you don't really believe becoming a multimillionaire is possible. You know, you believe, hey man, it would be nice if I won the lottery or won at the casino, whatever, right? You don't really really in my heart, I didn't say I'm gonna be a millionaire one day, right? Because I just really didn't know the path, right? But once I got out of debt and saw that all I had to do was use the math that I was taught in grade school on my finances, I could have been a multimillionaire years ago. Now there's a phase you're going to go through. Okay. It took me about a year to get over being angry about all the stuff I financed, listening to people that looked like they understood money, but they really didn't. You know, you're going to go through a phase, and each time something's going to keep popping up when it comes to money. And the more you learn, the dumber I felt. Like, God, I didn't see that. Every time I finance a car, I was financing the taxes too. I was going around telling everybody that I was making payments on my cell phone. I was telling everybody out loud, ooh, I'm not going to answer that phone. It's probably a bill collector. You don't really realize what you're saying when you say stuff like that, because I was believing that debt was normal. And I remember justifying financing things, going into debt, because I would justify that it was going to help my credit. It was just, I just felt so stupid. And I'm 50 and I'm still young enough to turn things around, but thank God I didn't wake up at 60, 70. You know, I just thank God I didn't wake up at 60. I try to tell my close friends, hey man, pay that student loan off. Do you think they listen to me? They refinance their houses, go on vacations, and think they're really doing it. And they don't know they're digging themselves deeper in debt. It's really hard to watch. Very difficult to watch. I feel so dumb knowing that 5th grade math could have made me rich. All I had to do was believe my own freaking math, and I would have been rich a long time ago. Life is not even expensive, you guys. It's not expensive. Housing market prices no longer matter to me. I can live anywhere in the United States that I wish. As long as there are people that believe they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages, I can live anywhere I want. I'll just go buy a tax lien home, wait for a foreclosure, wait for another economy crash. When you're financially free and an economy crash happens, that is Christmas time for people with money. It's Christmas time. That is the best Christmas that will last for generations. I'm looking to create generational wealth now. Generational, not just me, generational, my kids, kids. But remember, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I knew this as I was raising because my boys are adults, if I taught this to them as they were children, they would have naturally carried the same habit to their children. But I didn't know this as they were children. I didn't wake up until they were adults. Now, when I try to tell them, they sort of listen, kind of listen, not really. They believe it's, hey, whatever. Okay, I can't do anything about it. Best version says the live is about getting your financial strategy in 2020. Okay, I'm gonna go check them out. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna see what he's talking about. Hey, best version. Do you, in your opinion, does he sound like he knows what he's talking about? Is he just talking, or is he really talking good stuff? Best version motivation says, LJ, young lady Stacy Flowers is live right now. She does Q&As like you about debt and Dave Ramsey. Over 100 watching, and she has good views on her lives. Maybe a good collaboration opportunity. Stacy Flowers. Okay, let me write this down too. Stacy Flowers. Okay. Thank you, best version. Best version says, yes, he speaks debt-free to be able to travel. He speaks debt-free to be, okay, gotcha. Okay. So he is speaking debt-free. All right. Because it's easy to spot that, you know. All right, you guys, we got about 5 minutes before we get off here. And I am hungry too. I'm ready to eat. All right. So thank you guys for all the questions. Best version motivation. You know, I appreciate you, man. Very much so. Very much so. Let me do something real quick here. What is that? Videos. One second here. Oops, go back. Oh, they be switching stuff up. You on YouTube. Up. One second here. Okay. Oh, minimize. Come on, catch up. One second here. Okay. All right. Dynamite Wolf says, I wish I had a teacher like this in class, but schools really only teach you how to be a loser in life. No. Okay, so Dynamite, check it out. If you can, make sure you try your best to remove your feelings from your money. Money and feelings have nothing to do with each other. It's like me asking you, hey, how do you feel about 1 + 1 = 2? Does it make you happy, sad? Does it make you jump for joy that it's 2? No, it's just 2, right? I believe that schools teach you the basics. They teach you what you need to know. They teach you the basics. What you do with those basics is totally up to you. Are you going to believe your own mathematics? Or are you going to believe people in the debt matrix? It's totally up to you. Because if somebody, I wish somebody would have taught me, like as soon as I went to go finance a car, somebody was there to say, hey, check this out, Linnell. This is how much you're going to be paying if you saved up the cash to buy it. This is how much you're going to be paying if you finance it. And then somebody just showed me that on paper. I would have been like, so don't finance cars? Don't ever do that. Okay, cool. That's it. You know, so it's not, they don't really teach you to be a loser. Everybody has a choice. You either can choose to believe mathematics or you don't. Everybody knows that if you finance not knows, but mathematically, everybody has a calculator on their phone. All they got to do is run the numbers. Just run the numbers. That's it. Best version motivation says, we are helpers to one another. It's about the service you give to others that blesses you. Exactly. It is. And it feels good to be helping others. You know, and I always tell the people this, when I started this business, right, I didn't, of course, it's to make money, right? But I didn't really expect the part where strangers write me and tell me how much I changed their life. I didn't expect that. That's an amazing feeling because people don't say that accidentally. People don't accidentally walk up to strangers and go, hey, man, you really changed my life. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Okay. You really have to touch somebody to change their life. You really do. You have to touch somebody. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this up in 2 minutes. Any other questions before I get off of here? 2 minutes. Because I'm going to check out this Stacy Flowers. Go check her out. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nicer. Appreciate you posting that link. Thank you very much. Any other questions before we go? This is another successful Q&A Sunday. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Please hit that like button. If you need a 30-minute consultation, it's scrolling there at the bottom. You can go to my website there, click on book a consultation, and you can set your own time. Please don't forget to set the time zone, what time zone you're in, because I'm in East Coast time zone. Somebody might be in specific Pacific time zone or Central time zone, and that will be off if it's not correct. So please do not forget to pick your time zone. Schedule yourself at whatever time works for you, and I will make it work. All right. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful Sunday. I appreciate you guys all participating. Best Version Motivation, as always. Nicer, thank you very much. Dynamite Wolf, welcome to the SMD family. Much appreciated. Welcome. Okay. You guys, NonstopDRE, thank you. James Stokes, thank you, thank you. Kurt, Cool and Coffee. Mark, as always. Well, E-Man, Hyphy, Health and Weight, Real Talk. Thank you, everyone. Jennifer, thank you. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Okay. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.